Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to get unstuck and move to your desired reality. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I got an email from a subscriber that said, Tom, I'm new to your channel, and I got to be honest with you, I just feel stuck. I just feel like I can't manifest anything that I really want in my life. And here's the thing, I feel like I deserve it. I mean, I'm good to my family, I'm good to my friends, I'm kind to strangers. I feel like I'm a good person. I feel like I deserve to have that, but it's not happening. And I don't see evidence of it in my reality. I don't see evidence of any of that. In fact, I see the opposite of it. And it's within me to be kind. It's within me to be nice to people. That's who I am. But I don't see that manifesting. I don't see the equivalent in my reality. And then I have a friend. She's a very close friend of mine. She's a single mom. She's raising a 7-year-old kid. She works in a pastry shop making pastry. She's amazing. She's got amazing talent. And I always tell her that she should get her own pastry shop. Yet she kind of laughs and says that would be nice. And she is joyful. She's the kindest, most loving person. And when I look at her, she seems so fulfilled, yet she struggles financially. And then I have a friend who works in the financial sector, and he's got a ton of money, but he's divorced, he's miserable, he's difficult to be around, he doesn't seem happy at all, yet he has a lot of money. I can't reconcile all this. I don't get it. I thought that maybe you could talk about that. Well, guys, that's a lot to unpack, so let's get to it. So here's what I want to say, and this is big, that to move to your desired reality, to manifest what you want, really requires two things. Hear this. It requires the desired vibration, right? The desired vibration of your desired state or your desired reality. Love, joy, gratitude, for instance, right? And it also requires you to be tuned into the frequency of your desire or the frequency of your desired state. So for example, your buddy that's got a lot of money but yet is miserable probably feels unworthy, right? Deep down, he probably fears lack, right? Although he believes in his ability to be abundant. So he's tuned into abundance for sure. But what he lacks is the vibration of love, of joy, of gratitude. He lacks that. That's what he's seeking, right? He doesn't have any of that. He's miserable, right? But yet he has his desired reality. You don't know what his desired reality is, right? Maybe you think that his desired reality is abundance. That might just be a natural thing to him. His desire is probably not to feel miserable, but he can't get there until he tunes into the state of not being miserable, that state of gratitude, that state of joy. You can't get there unless these two things are matched up. And then with your friend who works in a pastry shop, well, she is fulfilled. She's got everything she wants. Or maybe, we don't know, right? You don't really know what her true desire is, but she's feeling grateful. She's feeling joy, right? And maybe she does want to have her pastry shop, but she's not tuning into the frequency of it. She's not tuning into the reality of having it. That's why it's not there. Maybe it's not her desire, or maybe it is. But that's when those two things line up. That's why gratitude is so powerful. Why do I always talk about gratitude? Why do all the spiritual teachers talk about it? Right? Why is it the ultimate hack in creating your own reality? Because it's twofold. One, it gets you that high elevated emotion of joy, love, and gratitude. It's a high elevated emotion. It increases your vibration, right? Gives you that desired vibration. Plus it tunes you in to the frequency of your desire. Hear this. When you're in gratitude, that means it implies that you already have what you want. It works twofold. That one feeling gets you there. Wow, that's powerful. And I even had a little fun last night as I was dropping off to sleep, as I was in bed. I was just thinking Father, for everything. The soft pillows, the sheets, right? The way the light was coming in through the skylight and everything I could think of it. I dropped off to sleep in that state. How wonderful. Then when I woke up, I was still saying it. I was groggy, but I found myself still saying, thank you, Father. I woke up in that gratitude. What an amazing day it's been, and it's not over yet. This is how powerful that is, guys. And so here's the thing. If you keep measuring it, if you keep taking score by looking at 3D reality, then you're not maintaining that conviction that it's already yours. You can't move to that reality while you're looking at the unwanted one, right? When you tune into the state of your wish fulfilled with absolute faith, complete conviction, and with total knowing, your reality will change to catch up with your new inner state. It's got to catch up. You're not giving it time, right? Give it time to catch up with your new inner state. But when you fall back and look at when events or circumstances come up that shake you, or get you feeling differently, or pull you in emotionally, now you're not in the conviction. Now you're not in that absolute faith and knowing. When you stay into that, it's for sure that your outer reality will catch up with your inner state. It's law, right? The conditions and events happening in 3D reality while you move to your desired reality are irrelevant. I know they feel real, they feel important, they're irrelevant, they don't matter, right? You only and always are just seeing old snapshots of the now past 3D reality. Those are just old snapshots. Remember we talked about that every event that ever happened, is, was, or ever be, is a picture frame, like an old snapshot, right? Think of it that way, and that you're just looking at old snapshots, right? Stop getting stuck and focusing on any one past snapshot. That's what happens. You get stuck on the past snapshot versus moving towards new snapshots that in a new reality. Hear this, right? Reality is fluid and always changing, but you tend to get emotionally stuck on past snapshots, past realities. Wow, that's big. Let's unpack this a little bit more. We talked about this idea, consider this. We talked about the idea of parallel realities or the multiverse, right? There's an infinite number of different unique realities that exist now, parallel to one another. The number is constantly expanding toward infinity. Hear this. So not only are there a number, but it's constantly expanding. There are constantly new realities as new desires come up. It all exists now. So it's not even being created, right? This is the mind-blowing thing about this. And hear this. What's really cool about this, think of it like this. Think of reality like this. Do you remember the flip books where you would flip it and the images on each page would be an image, and each page, the next image would be slightly different, advancing the picture. And as you flip it, it looks like an action. It looks like the image is moving and events are happening. That's what 3D reality is. You're moving every snapshot. So you think you're stuck in one fixed reality, but in what's really happening is you are moving. All those snapshots are from not just one reality. They're from infinite number of realities, right? And as you get emotional, according to your feelings and emotion and your state of being, you either move to realities that are like the current reality or worse, or more towards your desired reality. But you're always moving, like that flip book, right? Those images are moving. You're moving forward, right? So this is why, so if you think about this, infinite number, always expanding, that's what Jesus meant when he said, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. It's impossible to comprehend this from your 3D lower mind. But your infinite higher you is moving with it, like a flip book of realities. Your reality is a continual movement of perception, traveling through an infinite and expanding consciousness of unique frames of separate realities. So when you get stuck on any one frame, you're getting stuck in that reality, right? And it's not even the same reality you were there a moment ago. It's always changing. These frames come from all different realities. You're always moving. When you blink your eyes, you're in a new reality. I talked about this, right? But this is even a stronger case for it, right? Like a flip book, right? Those images. Where you have there used to be flip books of stick figures where they're moving, right? So that's what reality is. You're viewing these frames created in an infinite number of realities. Wow. As occurring or happening in a single 3D reality that you call your life. You think that these frames are all within this one 3D reality, but in reality, there's not one reality that you're living. You're living in infinite realities right now, right? And as and according to what you think, feel, and believe, that's what you're going to see. And that's why you feel stuck. You get stuck in the frame. You get stuck with a frame, right? And so you've got to let those go, guys. That's the case for gratitude. That's the case of moving to those higher level emotions, right? Let's unpack this a little bit more. So like a flip book, as you quickly flip the pages, you get the sense of a continual reality. You feel stuck because you identify with strongly certain frames that gives you the feeling you're stuck in your current 3D reality, right? You're not stuck. And even when you're stuck or you think you're stuck, you're still not stuck. You're still moving. Hear this. You just don't see those frames. You don't see the new frames because your mind is back on the old frame. Wow. So you're always moving. You're always moving to your new reality. Your desires are done. You're already in that reality. You just can't perceive it. You can't see it because you're mentally stuck on the old frames. You're mentally stuck on past experiences, right? Think about how we dwell on things, right? Wow, guys. So you feel stuck. So all that is, right, God, consciousness, infinite, contains everything but lack. Hear this. Lack doesn't exist. It's an illusion. How can lack exist with all that is? It doesn't even make sense. All that is. Lack is something we make up. That's an illusion, right? So try this. This is simple but profoundly powerful. Right? And I love this. So the first thing I want you to do is celebrate the infinite potential of every event and circumstance. Why? Because every event and circumstance is one of those frames, one of those pictures in the flip book. Right? When you celebrate them and don't judge them, don't dwell on them, don't get stuck on them, you keep moving. You keep moving to that desired reality. You keep moving along with your vibration and your frequency to everything you want. Celebrate the infinite potential of every event, because every event has the infinite potential of leading you to something even bigger and better, right? Loss is impossible. That's just, we make it up, and we're looking, all these frames are good, we're just judging them, right? We're the ones that judge them good or bad, or right or wrong, or wanted or unwanted. They're all good. Celebrate them. Think and feel of what could be, as opposed to what you're judging it that it could be, right? As a look for that, right? 2, show gratitude. I showed you just a minute ago the gratitude, how that works on both vibration and frequency. Very powerful. I'm not kidding you. Show gratitude for everything, both the seen and the unseen. Hear this. Tune into the frequency of having it all. Wow. Right? Gratitude not only gets you to that elevated emotion, it gets you tuning in to having it all, right? Then 3, see everything as evidence of your wish already fulfilled. How fun is that, right? Even when it doesn't appear to be that, start seeing everything as evidence of your wish fulfilled. Why? Because if that's your perception, then that must be your reality. Wow, that's powerful. This is powerful, guys. This is how to get unstuck and move to your desired reality. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen, our website at tomkaren.com, at BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me and say hello at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, with great love, this is Tom. See you soon.